Hello, and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I'm going to present to you some deadline tips for the upcoming Game Week 19. Looking at my current team at the start, then we're going to see some team news, and then we're going to see my final team. I'm 29k in the world, I'm doing pretty fine, so if you want to see more content from me or ask me any questions or just join the community, you can subscribe to the channel, it's completely for free. You can join the Discord to ask me questions, there is a direct link. You can follow me on X, you can join the mini league, you see the league code here. You can do all of those great stuff. And now let's jump and see how my team for Game Week 19 is looking. This is how the team is looking so far for the upcoming Game Week 19. I have 1.1 million in the bank and I have one free transfer. In goal, I will be starting with Rob Sanchez. He has Ipswich away from home. Hopefully he will do okay and at least get up some saves, because I don't think that they're keeping a clean sheet, as defensively they're not that good, but still I expect some returns from Sanchez in the save department. Then in defense, I have Timber against Brentford, Gvardiol against Leicester, and Trent against West Ham. The issue here is that my team is mostly focused on away games, and it's not looking to likely to change before deadline. Brentford away. Brentford are having a lot of issues. We're going to read into them in a second, but for now I think they're conceding. They may score a goal, but I still think that the Arsenal defenders may be involved in their attack. Gvardiol against Leicester. Leicester were bad against Liverpool, and I'm strongly counting on the things that just City decide to score some goals and Gvardiol to be involved. Ake and Akanji probably will start with Gvardiol on the left and Rick Willis on the right. So Gvardiol with those runs inside, I think he can do some serious damage. And Trent against West Ham. He didn't perform amazingly against Leicester at home, but I believe against West Ham he's going to do the job. In midfield, Salah, West Ham away for him, my captain. Palmer against Ipswich, my vice captain. I'm strongly deliberating should I change captaincy, but by the looks of it, I'm not going to do it. Then we go to Mbumo against Arsenal at home. I think that Brentford are going to line up in a 5-3-2 formation, and Mbumo will be a striker out of position, so he may have good chances. And Luis Diaz against West Ham, I'm expecting a start after a game week where he didn't feature at all in Game Week 18. I suspect a Game Week 19 start. Up front, it's Isaac against Manchester United. Isaac probably in the best form as of now, probably after Salah, but still I think in one of the best forms in the Prem. Cunha probably third on form-wise. I think Salah, Isaac and Cunha are the three guys that are tearing up the Prem in December, so let's see how this ends. And João Pedro has been awful. Brighton have been awful. I suspect a striker will come back sooner rather than later for Brighton, and he will be able to play behind him, because as a 9, Pedro is just bad. Ho on the bench against Manchester United to cover if any issues arise into my team. Darrow, Shane Twinks can cover as well, but hopefully we're not going to get close to them, and we're not going to see them involved into my team. Still, if something happens, I have them on the bench. Now, there have been some injury news updates. Let's go and see them, and then we're going to finalize my team selection for the upcoming Game Week 19. Starting on the injury front, there haven't been a lot of managers speaking because, first of all, it's Christmas. Second of all, not all of the fixtures are going to be played soon. For example, Arsenal manager hasn't spoken, but we have some news to update you on, and so on, so on. Some of them have been behind closed doors, and we have a slight information. We have info about some injured players, but let's see what we know about the teams that we heard managers from. So starting from Arsenal, Saka, now a 10.3 player, so he's dropping massively in price. Probably up until he returns, he will be below 10 million, which is mental. But yeah, he's probably out until March, maybe. And that maybe is because he had a surgery, and that may take him out for longer, which is super bad for Arsenal. I did not enjoy how they played against Ipswich. Yes, they had some chances, but Saka is by far their best player. Sterling, knee injury for him, but he will be back sooner than expected. Ben White and Tomiyasu remain out. From Fulham's perspective, Smith Rowe missed a game and he will be assessed. On the other hand, Andreas Pereira is returning from a suspension, so he will be back. Birch received injury in game week 17, and he is a big doubt for game week 19. Tete, Reece Nelson, and Reed remain out, so on the right back position, Castane is going to be playing. From Aston Villa's perspective, Ramsey is back in training, and he is going to be assessed before looking if he will be available. Duran and Match Cash are suspended, while Duran for 3 games and Cash for picking his 5th yellow card. From Southampton's point of view, Warriors, Stewart and Bazunu remain out. Cornet is now available to face the next opposition, as he wasn't before the game, before the previous game, because he's a loanee from West Ham. Now he's back. Stephens, he's back from a ban but injured right now, so he is going to miss the next fixture. Moving into Brentford, probably one of the worst injury records there. Ayer and Pinnock out for weeks. There haven't been anything new for them, but they are some massive defenders in their department, and I think that it's going to be awful for them if not playing. Flecken and Ben Mee are going to be assessed. The good thing about Flecken and Mee is that the game is on 1st of January. It's 28 at the time of recording, so those are 3 to 4 days that they have to recover, and if they are not back, it's going to be way more awful for the team. They will have to play probably Collins and Van der Beek if he is fit, because he was closer to returning game week 18 as was Jensen, but if he is not, it's going to be awful for them. I honestly don't think that they are going to keep clean sheets, especially from set pieces, as most of their good defenders are going to be out. The Silva, Thiago, Hickey and Henry, they remain out for the longer term. From Wolves, Lemina and Sarabia, Mosquera and Traore remain out. Cunha, we don't have any information as of yet for him, so we'll think that he will be playing. Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte are suspended for 1 week. Bruno for a red card, Ugarte for picking up 5 yellows. 5 yellows is mental when considering he joined so late. But at the end of the day, he's a holding game, so he will be getting those yellow cards. Luke Shaw, Mount and Lindelof remain out. I think that probably this line will stay on the slides forever, as I don't see Shaw and Mount getting fit. Probably Lindelof will move away from him. Nottingham Forest, Sangare and Danilo remain out. Danilo is closer than Sangare, but still not fit enough. And Ryan Yates suspended. This is bad for Forest midfield, because Ryan Yates have been like a player reborn, but still he is out for now. Moving into Leicester, Hermansen is going to be out for game week 19, so Stowarczyk against Manchester City, it's not looking very good. Ayew, who scored against Liverpool, is now suspended, and they're going to be weakened offensively. And Vardy should be okay though, and the Rattle King can return against the champions of England, so let's see what he does there. West Ham, Antonio is going to be out probably for a year. Fabianski, Koeman and Soler are doubts. The 3 of them picked injuries in game week 18, and probably Fabianski is going to be missing. Koeman and Soler are closer, but let's see. Soucek and Rodriguez are suspended, and with all of those injuries, I think that Liverpool are going to run riot, but let's see how the rest of the injuries news look. And Crystal Palace, Wharton and Franca are out, which is bad, especially for Wharton, but yeah, I think after the New Year's he will be closer to return. Gay is now suspended, which means that Chris Richards is probably going to start up as a center back, which weakens their defense and probably their offensive threat, but we'll see. And Hughes is a doubt, and if Hughes and Wharton are out, both of their midfielders will be out, so that weakens them as a whole. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be that bad of a fixture against Southampton at home, so whoever is putting in some Crystal Palace players, I don't think that's going to cost you dearly, but you have to be careful if those injuries continue to persist. This is the final week where 4 yellow cards are going to matter, because after game week 19, the fixtures for most of the teams, apart from Everton and Liverpool, are going to be extended. So the ban will be extended to 10 cards. I think after 19 games have been played, this will happen. For Everton and Liverpool, that will not be the case, because they've played only 17 so far, and there is a game, this will be their 18th game, and after game week 20, the cards will matter for them. There are some big names in the 4AO cards department, and I own several of them. So let's discuss all of the important players. We are starting with the Arsenal players with Yuri, Timber and Jesus, both on 4 yellow cards. I own Timber, and if he gets a yellow card against Brentford, which is highly likely, he will miss the fixture in Gameweek 20, which will be awful for me. Jesus, 6.8, a very popular striker at the moment. I think his submission will be vital as well. Rogers on 4 yellow cards, one of the best Villa players. So we have to monitor it. Duncan Van Hecke are with issues for Brighton. Both are great defenders and both are starting, so it's going to be tricky. Senesi is out. Smith and Cook, though, are some injury issues, some players that we have to be careful about. From Chelsea's perspective, Sanchez is on 4 yellow cards, which for a goalkeeper is quite bad, to be fair, and if he gets suspended for Game Week 20, I will be so pissed. Jackson has been on 4 yellow cards since Game Week 11 and hasn't picked up another, so me not bringing him because of those cards hasn't paid off, but still he's on 4 and this is the final game where he can suffer booking. Lerma from Palace and Keane from Everton, I don't think they're very popular. Robinson, another popular player that a lot of players got, and if he gets a yellow card, that would mean that he's missing, I think, an easy fixture in Game Week 20, so I will be monitoring that for sure. Vardy, Vestergaard and Gideon Skip from Leicester's perspective. I don't think anyone is picking their players. Gakpo, Konate, Nunes and Gravenberch will have to survive 2 games without receiving a yellow card. Konate is safe because he is not going to be back from an injury. I don't think Nunes is going to play. Gravenberch and Gakpo, on the other hand, is going to be important for them not to pick up some bookings for 2 weeks because they will miss some important games such as Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. So probably Gravenberch will be missing Nottingham Forest as I don't see him not getting a yellow card against United. But at the end of the day, let's see if they manage to survive West Ham first. Bernardo Silva from City, it will be a big commission if he gets a yellow card against Leicester. Maguire, not important. Sharon Tonali, on the other hand, if they receive yellow cards, it's going to be quite bad for the Newcastle side, as they're probably their 2 best defensive assets at the moment, and it's going to cost them probably a clean sheet or 2 if they're missing Murillo, Gibbs White, Williams and Anderson from Forest. Murillo especially is going to be a big miss. Armstrong, Anderson, Owana and Mateo Fernandez, I don't think anyone cares about. Madison, very big commission. If he receives a yellow card once again and then he doesn't start in Game Week 20, it would have been an awful transfer, sorry, for those of you that went with him, because not playing a lot of minutes in Game Week 17, yellow card in 18 and then not playing in 18, yellow in 19 and missing 20, it's going to be bad. Van den Ven is injured, so he's safe, and Bentancur, while missing 6 fixtures, I believe, he is now on 4 yellow cards, so if he misses a fixtures, it's going to be quite funny. Alvarez from West Ham, 8 Nuri after being sent off in Game Week 16. Yes, he is still on 4 yellow cards. Lemina probably not going to get it, and Tocia starting center back. So a lot of important players here are questionable. I will be probably monitoring most the Chelsea game because it's quite important. The Liverpool one, as I'm a fan, and probably that's the most important thing. Now let's go and see after those team news how my team is looking. Did I change anything? Did I not? Or am I saving it for the deadline stream? Let's move to the next section. Looking into my Game Week 19 squad, I already made a transfer. I couldn't wait because there is most probably going to be a price change and I didn't want to lose a team value, because regardless of what happens during the night, I was going to do the transfer on the deadline stream. Yes, I prefer to do it there because more and more information is stored, but I had to do it. You're going to see it in a second, but let's now start with the goalkeeper position. Ipswich away from home, already discussed. It's a good fixture for Sanchez, probably not for a clean sheet, but a couple of save points will make my day. Moving into the defensive department, you can see my transfer there. I brought in Gabriel. You're going to say, but that's a side transfer, and you're going to be completely right. Brentford away, it's not the easiest of fixtures for Arsenal in any shape or form, and Brentford have been known for taking some points from the better sides in the Prem. But looking at Gabriel and how he's performing on those set pieces is quite scary as a non-owner. 6.3. He's probably rising to 6.4, which is going to be pretty bad because I don't want to lose any more price value into my squad, as Timber was not going to be rising. Timber is on 4 yellow cards, and I think that there is a very big chance that he will be suspended for game week 20, and either way I would have to take him out, and I just believe that Gabriel is going to be the better option from those set pieces, and he's playing the 90 minutes either way. I think that Timber is due a rest as well because he hasn't been rested at all in the quite recent times, and they play on the 1st of January and then they play on the 4th of January, so I really suspect Timber to be probably either rotated or taken out quite early, so I don't want to risk it, and he is the biggest threat, Gabriel, for my rank. So yeah, I wanted to include him into my side and just be a little bit safer. Guardiola against Leicester, already said why I like him and why I'll be keeping him. 3 more weeks. Okay, 4 for him to prove himself. Either way, he's going to be leaving after game week 22. Trent at 7.1. I think it's a good transfer that I made last week. And now he's going to be doing some serious damage in the following weeks. I just feel it. He's not as differential as I want him to be, but with that Saka injury, you just don't have anywhere else to spend the money in the moment, in my opinion. So Trent is going to be doing the job for me. How my benching option, as already mentioned, against United, it hurts to bench him, but with Gabriel, Guardiola and Trent, I don't see a reason to do anything else in the defensive department at the moment, so I will be waiting patiently. And Darrell O'Shea, an ever-present defender at 4.1, I think it's quite brilliant. Moving into midfield, Salah 13.5, Palmer 11.3, they're not going anywhere. Basically, I own them just not to lose points, which is quite sad, but it's the nature of the game, so I am going to be keeping them. And Boom against Arsenal, I expect something of an attacking threat from him and from Brentford as a whole. I don't know if that he's scoring or returning, but penalty taker for a strong Brentford side at home, and they have been scoring a lot of goals at home, so I believe that it's a good transfer to keep and to not take him out. And next week he has Southampton away, so yeah, I think that Mbumo will do the job. Luis Diaz, I believe that he's starting against West Ham. It's quite some time that he hasn't played as of late. One game he missed fully, so I think that now he's going to be back and he will get at least 75 minutes in the following fixture. Harry Winks is there for a coverage. I hope that I'm not going to need him, but you never know these days with those injuries and rotations, and I want to be as prepared as possible. Moving into the front line, Isaac is not going anywhere anytime soon. Sadly, I didn't keep him. When I bought him for 8.4, I had to spend more money on him and waste some transfers, but I thought he was injured. So yeah, I wasn't going to keep an 8.4 million of an injured player. Now he's quite more expensive, 9.1, and it's going to be quite tricky affording him back. But at the end of the day, I think it's not that big of a deal because I am not willing to sell him anytime soon. Cunha, no information on the ban. I don't think it's happening on Saturday, so Spurs away, he'll be playing. And Pedro survives another week just because he's cheap, he's on pens, and I don't want to take him out at the moment because I want to prioritize everywhere else. I don't have the budget to go to another player quite as of now from him, so I don't think it's worth moving him at all when I don't see a better alternative. If I sell Diaz, of course I will have the money to move Pedro, but Cunha will be banned 1,000,000%, so then I will have to take care of Cunha. It's a long process, so I don't want to get caught into it. Pedro will be remaining now here. No striker is performing amazingly apart from Isaac and us consistently, and from Cunha, sorry. So yeah, Pedro remains here and we'll see what's going to happen. Watkins is quite far away. If I knew that Duran was going to get suspended, I was not going to move from Trent, because that would have meant that I would be having the money to move from Pedro with those 3 million up until Watkins. But we are in such a position that you cannot predict the future. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the team that I have. And now it's time to discuss captaincy. I don't think that it's a lot to discuss, but let's go and see it. Finally, the captain is going to be Mohamed Salah because of several reasons. First of all, Fabianski is out, probably. Koeman probably out. Soler probably out. Then we have Souček, who is suspended, and Rodriguez, who is suspended. So those are 5 players that are pretty important for that West Ham team, and they're out. And Salah is just Salah, and he's doing amazingly well. Palmer has a high appeal as well as Son. Isaac, Haaland, and Salah have returned massively against Ipswich, and Ipswich are a side to be targeted for sure when there is a big and quality player playing. But Salah is just inevitable. I will be quite risking it for none of some reason. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to go there. Quite happy with the Salah captaincy, quite happy with the Palmer vice captaincy. Whatever happens, I will have it covered, unlike last week where I risked it with Trent and I almost got bored. Never again. So yeah, Salah, Palmer, the rest of the team is pretty solid. Now let's go and wrap up the video and give shout out to those members. As usual, a great shout out to the members of the channel, Seth Foreign, who also gifted 20 subs, Zach and Oscar Papa. Thank you so much for being members of the channel. If you guys want to support me financially and get some minor perks, I would say you can join for those prices. You can see down in the membership part of the sections what are the perks exactly. I will be happy if you join the community as members. If you cannot, you can just subscribe to the channel and help me reach my sub goal as soon as possible. Most probably not happening until the end of the year because we have 3 days left, and those 100 subscribers are not numbers that I tend to reach in such a short amount of time. But early next year, with some UCL fantasy content, I hope to reach it and then increase it once again. Thanks so much for watching. Prepare for a deadline stream if you're watching it around 3 hours before the deadline. You know I will be live and you can come and say hi and ask your questions. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being part of the community, and I hope to see you soon with more FPL and UCL fantasy content, which is returning very soon, so be prepared for it as well. But for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.